So for this project, I'm going to be using one of these, and this is a massive can of sweet corn that my friend bought because she thought it was going to be slightly bigger than her normal size of corn, but it was 2 kilos, so it's massive. But I thought I can use this tin to make myself a fake cake. So what I'm going to do is fill this inside the tin with some polystyrene. I'm going to try and make it as flat at the top as I possibly can. So I'll probably try and cut this out so that it will sit almost flush in the top of here. And then part of my other crazy plan is to use this filler that I got from Poundland. This is 750 grams, so it's a pretty big tub of filler, and I'm going to cover this with filler, and that's going to be basically like my icing. So we're going to see how we get on with that. Once this is on, I think it might be a little bit grey, so I might actually paint it. It does say it's white, but I don't know whether it's going to be as white as what I want it to be. So I'm going to use this to cover everything over, and then hopefully it's going to look like a cake. So let's have a go and see how we get on. It could go horribly wrong, but it's going to be fun to try. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do then is get my piece of polystyrene, and I'm going to cut a circle out of it. I'm going to put it there as close to the edge as I can, and just draw around it with a Sharpie. I don't think this is going to be quite big enough to get all the way round as a flat piece on the side there. So there's a bit of a flat piece on that side there, but I don't think that will matter too much. I'm just going to use a craft knife extended out to cut through this, and I might have to stick a piece on the edge there just to make it so that it will fit on properly. You can buy polystyrene rounds to make fake cakes with, but for what they are, I thought they were quite expensive, so I thought I'd try this instead. Right, so let's see if this will fit in there. Okay, oh yeah, perfect. Right, and that is how we want it to be. Real nice, snug fit. Now then, because that's nice and snug, I'm not worried too much about putting anything underneath to hold it up. I think I might have to vacuum these pieces up before I do anything else though. So I don't think I'm going to need to worry too much about that as well. I think I'll be able to put the filler in there and actually fill in that hole. And then this is going to be where I'm going to have a couple of holes placed in the top there so that the cake toppers will just stick through. I normally only use one stick on my cake toppers, so it's not going to be an issue of needing 1 or 2 on there, to be honest with you. So let's just have a little tidy up. Right then, let's open this and see what it's like. Ooh, it does look a bit like icing, doesn't it? Right, I'm thinking I'm going to put a piece of paper down on here just to stop it going on my desk, because I can see this getting pretty messy. So I'm just going to use one of these like tongue depressor type lollipop sticks today to put this on. Ooh, it looks like icing, it's fab. Right, okay, so let's warm my sleeves up and make sure that we're going to do this properly. So I'm just going to pop this on and just go all over it with my tub of icing. And hopefully it's going to look pretty realistic. It's actually a lot whiter than I thought it was going to be. I'm wondering now if I should have waited to put that polystyrene in the top so it gave me a little bit more of a way of holding it, but it's too late now. For this part across the top, I'm just dabbing it on to cover up the rim of the actual tin, and hopefully that pink of the Sharpie will also get stuck in that top there. I think this is going to take a few hours to dry for sure, because it's quite thick that I'm putting this on, but it looks really cool. It actually looks like a real cake, and I'm so impressed with that. So I've just put my cake skewer in the top here, and the reason I put that in there is because that's where my hole's going to be for my cake toppers. So I just want to make sure that I have that in there ready. I'm trying to make sure that I've covered up all of the bits of the tin, so I just need to sort of speckle it on really around that bit there. You can see the rim of the tin just around here, so I just need to make sure that I cover that up really well with the filler. So I'm just going to pop it on like this, and then I'm going to spread it out with a smaller lollipop stick. We just need to make sure that we cover up everything that looks like there could be something that's not a cake underneath. So I'm just going to use that to go around there and cover it up, and then I'm just going to use a smaller stick just to make sure that it's covering up that top rim, because it's quite prominent there that it's there. There's plenty of filler in this tub for this cake, and if you are going to be using a fake cake piece that you can buy, I'll link a couple down below that I looked at, but I decided against because I just thought that this was a better option once we had eaten all the corn. And I will never ever ever profess to be a cake decorator, so if you're a cake decorator and you're thinking honestly that really looks nothing like a cake, I apologise now, because I am definitely not a cake maker, but I just want something that's bears a resemblance to a cake to use for my photos. And I don't think, unless you're looking at it really closely, you're going to notice that it's a corn tin. So just want to make sure I've got all the bits covered up. But what I'm going to do, I think, is just let it dry and then maybe add to it another day, because I think this is going to take a while to actually dry, because it's quite a thick layer of icing. I just want to cover it up really and make it, you know, quite almost chunky, I suppose, on there, just to make it nicely covered. So here is my fake cake in all its glory. It took a long time to dry. It took about 5 days. I think I should have probably layered it a little bit thinner and maybe added onto it as I went along, instead of doing it into one big layer of filler. But I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. It's a lot whiter than I thought it was going to be, so I'm not going to bother painting it. I think that's unnecessary. I've got my cake topper in there as well. This was one that I made for my son's birthday in January, and it holds the cake topper really well through the little hole that I put in the top of the fake cake. If you make cake toppers, it's definitely something that you need to take photos with and to display your work really, so that people can see and get a sort of representation of what your cake topper will look like in the actual situation that it's going to be used in. So I'm pleased with how it's turned out. If you've enjoyed this video and you're inspired to make your own fake cake to display your work, don't forget to subscribe. Drop me any questions, comments that you might have down below, and if you have enjoyed this video and you've learned something new, don't forget to hit the like button as well. So all that's left to be said now is have a great week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye!